I've done 15 videos in the last 2 years on Netlist. Netlist is involved in a lawsuit basically against Google, Samsung, and Micron devices. And so it is a lawsuit that they have stolen a Netlist patent. The fact is, this stock just closed at $3.30, and by this time next year could easily be at $150 a share. But you need to understand the lawsuit. So what I decided to do was to have Nick, a member of our tribe, who is a lawyer and who has for the last 2 years with me been studying this, and share his knowledge. If you'll watch this video through the end, you could change your life. Here we go.
Best of Us Investors presents Kerry Griegmeyer.
Well, just food for thought for you, Kerry. We're coming down to crunch time, especially with the Samsung case. And the Samsung case is important in the fact that it's got to set the tone for the other two defendants. Clearly, Micron is a carbon copy lawsuit of Samsung. They're identical. Google's a little bit different. And so that trial with Samsung is coming up on April 17th. So we're within witching hour here, about 5 or 6 weeks away. And there are a lot of things going to be coming down before then as catalysts. So when we look at the stock today at minus 27%, and it was up, 70, 80% during the week, I don't give a shit about that because it comes down to the ultimate, it's about the lawsuits. Mm-hmm. I don't even want to talk about the company. I do read about the company. I listen to the conference call. I don't give a shit about the company, to be honest with you. I mean, that would be frosting on the cake. I'm interested in the cake, and that is these 3 lawsuits. And they're all going to be pretty much adjudicated. I'm not going to say resolved because everybody has a right to an appeal within the next 18 months. And so Samsung, the case is coming up April 17th. And anyone who's interested in this company should really go back to your interview with Jason. What's his name?
Jacob,
about 3 months ago. And you may want to start to, as things start to come down the next 6 weeks, think about doing some more videos as an update of what's going on. Don't take my word for it. But here's how I see it. Okay, so we have a hearing April 17th. Claims construction, which is the big thing I've learned in patent law, was determined in favor of Netlist about 3 months ago. So Netlist won the claims construction. That's really about the pretrial issues that a judge decides. They don't let a jury decide these kind of cases because they're too complicated. And he decided in favor of Netlist. So put that feather in our cap. Okay. Now, I was a little depressed 3 months ago. I haven't really been on until last week because there was Samsung challenged one of the patents, and it was the patent board found probable cause that they had a viable argument to make. And I said, "Holy cow! We've been at this now for 15 years with endless scrutiny, and now all of a sudden there's a question about the." And then Chuck Hong did a real smart thing. He wrote a letter, published it out in this patent tribunal. And all of a sudden, 12 academics saw it and wrote a friend of the court brief in the Samsung case, talking about the corruption and the unfairness and the things need to be changed and how patents are validized, so to speak. And son of a gun, the new director of the patent board, who started in January, who says the following, just so you know, my goal is to stop abuses of the IP system and support the patent owners over the big corporations. That's her goal. And now she took it upon herself to pull that away from this corrupt process and did an independent review and came back and told Samsung that today is the deadline. You better provide me information on your arrangements with Google. What is your relationship with Google? And provide me documentation. Today's the deadline on it. I don't expect it to be released today, but I suspect it to be released probably by next week. And that will be, I say, one of Samsung's last defenses because they've already been found in breach of contract. And so There's also summary judgment rulings before trial. Based on a matter of law, the judge says, this is not in dispute. I'm going to find A, B, C, and D. And one of them is the date that these damages go back. It's either 2020 or 2017. And so, and Chuck Hong said this, as for damages, I have no idea what the damages are, but he said this in his conference call: 80% of Samsung products are incorporated in Netlist IP.
Wow.
Micron, there's a claims construction, July of 23. There's a trial in January of 24. And there's some cases going on in Germany. Germany has a fast patent process. There's a little discovery, and bang, there's oral argument, and decisions are rendered. And so at the end of the day, we're coming to crunch time, because Samsung case will be setting the tone of where this case is going. So you're going to have a lot of FUD going on, a lot of volatility with this stock. But I do believe that it's going to start to go up to those higher amounts as we get closer to trial, notwithstanding another surprise.
So we've seen this before with the Google trial, where it was just out of nowhere. It's once and for all, it's going to happen. Nope, it's delayed after the Samsung. Is it possible that the Samsung trial, which has been moved up to April 17th, can we find out on April 16th? Nope, it's delayed.
The Samsung
3 months
trial?
away again.
The
Samsung trial. Yep.
Oh, sure. There's so much stuff that this judge needs to do. So many rulings he has to make. I think he has to wait for this lady at the PTAB board to render her decision. So, I'm very involved in the legal system, and I don't really think any judge really wants to preside over a case like this. It's complex. Did you know what the number one practice of law is for legal malpractice claims? Anyone know?
Medical, I would think.
You would think. It's not. It's patent law.
Is it really?
Yeah. And so anything can happen. Clearly, if this case gets continued and kicked down the road, it's not going to be good for the stock, but,
So that's interesting, though. You're suggesting the judges themselves don't want to preside over a court trial.
Sure. My experience with judges is that they don't like trying cases. They don't. And they want settlement. And there's going to be a required court mediation to resolve this case with Samsung. Now, Kerry mentioned there may be some discussions on it. I saw the same thing. I can't confirm or deny it. But you would think Samsung would want to negotiate this, because there is a claim for treble damages and attorney's fees. There is interest on it. And, I don't know the details of the damages enough to know what the stuff is worth. That's going to be decided by the experts. These are the biggest patent cases that have ever been filed. And of course, Google is the prize, the king. And, everyone's looking for a mistake for a judge that will give them a basis for appeal. And I'm hoping that there's a global settlement. Get all the parties together, put them in a room with an expert mediator, and try to work it out. It'll be a great deal for Netlist, because now they have three defendants, all piling cash and possible future royalty fees. And it would be great for the three companies, because Google won't stand out as the real shithead thief that they are, because it's three other companies, so they can hide behind that. And they'll probably want to pay a little less if the other two also contributed to the system. And we want future royalties, because this patent goes till 2025 or so. So it's not going to expire for 2 or 3 more years. And this lawyer that we have, the best lawyer in patent law, went to Harvard, and he's an expert in global negotiation, complex negotiation. But the problem with a global settlement is we haven't figured out what Google's books have to say. It's been stayed. We can't get access to their servers, because we have to wait for the Samsung case to be resolved. So I don't know how you would know what the damages are until you get your experts over there at with Google in California.
And why is it contingent upon the Samsung case to get access to Google servers? Why?
Because that's what the judge in California on the Google case did. He put a stay on any more litigation until the Samsung case has been resolved. I guess there's an arrangement between Samsung and Google. There's a indemnification agreement. And it's all hush hush. They refuse to produce this relationship until this new director came forward and said, "I want you to produce it. Today's the deadline to produce it."
Okay. Nick, is it possible that the trial's delayed 2 years? How far can we keep pushing this thing back?
I can only tell you who this judge is. This judge is a no-nonsense judge. He moves cases forward. He's from East Texas. He's a hard ass against the big corporations. That's his reputation. He's treated Netlist real well. He's treated other small patent owners very well. The big corporations do not like him. He wants to move these cases forward. Whether you're ready or not, they're going forward. And so, based on his reputation, he's got a lot of work to do, but there's a trial date.
Is he new to the case?
No, not on the Samsung case. And again, it's about the lawsuits. I kind of very distant about the day-to-day trading on this stock. I saw it was down 28% and I didn't flinch because I know there's no basis for it. Once there's a basis for it, like a legal ruling, then I'm going to be concerned. And so I look at it as, patience. At the end of the day, it's Google. And, just a quick fact, 92% of all cases after an unfavorable claims construction settle. I looked it up. They settle. And in the Samsung case, it was favorable to Netlist. So 92% settled. I hope there's a settlement, but it's complex because of the Google relationship. And so you never know what you don't know. And a lot of this stuff is blacked out. I never really know exactly what's going on behind the scenes because a lot of it is not made public. A lot of it's blacked out and edited. And so you just go with court findings, court rulings, and the procedure that's gone through. And what we do know is that we got a valid patent under the Google case. It's seminal. And now it's just the question of looking at the books. Multiple judges and appeals courts have ruled on this. And so I look at it as just not about are they liable? It's about how much and when. And I'm willing to wait it out 2, 3, 4 years, whatever it takes. But my only concern is that Google can appeal until, however long they want to do it. That's my only concern. Let's do a hypothetical, and it's not a real valid one, but I'm going to throw it out just as a fantasy. Okay, this is what I read. Okay, if Netlist was entitled to 1% of Google's market cap, which is, by the way, 1.2 trillion at the moment, that would come to 12 billion. Okay, and add 12 billion to $4.50 per billion. So you have to do the math on that. What's that? $48. And then you got treble damages.
Oh, okay. Treble damages means
3 times because it's a theft. It was an intentional theft of intellectual property.
That brings the price to 120 a share. I hope you caught my math there. It doesn't bring it to 120 a share. It brings it to 150 a share. Google obviously stole the patent from Netlist. They've hid it. They've stonewalled them with lawyers, and now it's coming to a head. We have judges in the right position. I've personally watched this stock go I bought in at about $3, where it's at now. I saw it go to $10, and then I saw it go to $1.50. And as Nick said, it's a cut and dry. They stole the patent. It's going to be settled, and the question is for how much. So I want you to watch the video again, follow it through, do your research, and this could make a difference in your life. Okay, $3.30 closed today, possibly to 150, and maybe even more. What we do know is that every server that Google has Netlist's software or patent on it. And the question is, as Nick said, how much do they get? 1% of their net worth, or do they get 5%? And then they get triple damages because they stole it. It's cut and dry. Not a lot of people follow it. You follow it, subscribe to the channel, and I'll make you, I'm not going to say I'll make you a millionaire, but we have a group that works together. You met Nick. You heard some of the others, and this is the kind of thing we do at Best of Us Investors. Subscribe, find the link to our Discord, and you too can attend our Friday Stock Talk.